everyone, I'm Maira, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the concept of intelligence and exactly how it is gained. This topic interested me because when I took AP Psychology this year, I was really surprised to learn that there's this big debate on whether intelligence is something you're born with or something you develop naturally over time. This debate stems from the idea of nature versus nurture, which you guys might have heard about. Nature pertains to traits that are determined by your genetics, while nurture refers to the environment and conditions in which someone was raised in. What surprised me the most about this debate was a majority of the population, whether they realized it or not, tended to believe that genetics completely determines how smart someone is. They think there's certain people who are born really dumb and some people who are born really smart, and that the amount of intelligence you have is fixed from when you're born throughout your entire life. This mindset is not only wrong, but it can also have extremely negative effects on a person in their life. I can say this because I, myself, used to have the same belief. Ever since middle school, I told myself that I was really bad at math since I always did bad on my math tests. I thought I just didn't have a math brain, that no matter how hard I studied, I just wouldn't be good at math. Then as a result of not studying, I obviously still did bad on my tests, and the idea that I was not a math person persisted in my mind. If I had told myself that there is a possibility that I could improve, then I wouldn't have neglected to study, and I probably would have been a better person at math today. This is why the belief that people are born with or without intelligence is so harmful. If someone thinks that they aren't smart, they will falsely believe that it's impossible for them to ever get better. As a result, they wouldn't try, and their own feelings of self-doubt will prevent them from achieving things that they could otherwise achieve. It's the same thing for people who believe that they are intelligent. Many children were in the gifted program in our elementary school, or were otherwise told by the adults around them that they were really smart. These children may get the feeling that they don't need to study or try to get better. Furthermore, if they get one bad grade or be bad in one subject, they'll feel like a complete failure because they think that they're supposed to be the best in everything. They'll develop a lower self-esteem as a result. In reality, nature and nurture are not mutually exclusive, and it's not one or the other that completely influences intelligence. In fact, most research shows that a person's own experience affects intelligence as much as genetics. Psychologists Ian Deary and Lawrence Whaley conducted a study in which they tested and recorded the IQs of children, then tracked them until they become adults, in which they tested their IQs once again. Most people think their IQs are fixed and that all people are born with a certain IQ that carries on until they're adults. However, the researchers were really surprised to find that each individual person's IQ fluctuated greatly while they were children. They did not start stabilizing until they become older adults. This makes sense because when someone's a child, they're still learning and gaining new experiences. That's why it's important for people to recognize their brain isn't fully developed yet, and the amount of intelligence they have still has time to change. At this point, you might be wondering what exactly influences intelligence if it's not just a person's genetics. For one, nutrition and nourishment play a big role. Studies found that starving and malnourished children tend to have lower IQ scores than healthy children, suggesting that proper food does affect brain processing. In addition, stress may also be a factor. As children raised in households with a lot of violence and familial troubles have proved to do worse on standardized tests. Finally, your family and the household you were raised in also play a major factor in determining how intelligent you are. If you are raised in a positive environment in which your parents are greatly involved in your life and encourage you to try hard, then you will most likely be more intelligent than those raised in a less stimulative household. Overall, the message I want you guys to take from this video is that intelligence is influenced both hereditary factors as well as your own personal experiences. Even though genetics does play a big role in how smart you are, there's no such thing as people who are born smart or born dumb. Instead, you yourself can determine how successful you are in school and basically any life situation. Thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you can change your mindset.